RS, Faith.
Yes.
What's going on there, man? What was college like? How would you
So
describe it?
when I started college, I was very excited to start college. It was like, I'm a big girl now. I can finally leave school and I've got like more freedom. Because the way my college was set up, it wasn't a sixth form. So you may have like just one lesson in the morning and that's it. So like
Yeah,
you
that
can
was
just,
similar to me.
you
Two
know,
periods, then
yeah.
I'm cutting.
So I was looking forward to that, and I chose English, combined English A level, sociology, and religious studies. And I think I chose religious studies at the last minute because I was going to do photography, and then I dropped that, and then I started history, and I hated it. It was all about politics. Don't watch the news, so I didn't want to do that.
Hmm.
So then I started RS, and it was I loved it, and it was like all of these debates. It was hard. It's like probably one of the hardest A levels areas apart from like maths and science, but
Hmm.
in terms of the English type of subjects, it's the hardest ones. And coming into it as a Christian, I didn't really know what to expect. And because especially I was born as a Christian, I was raised as a Christian, I was raised in the church, my mom's a Christian, my dad's a Christian.
Yeah.
I but even though I didn't find Christ for myself.
Yeah.
So it was like I'm living pretty much like everyone else, but I still have this belief in my head, but like I'm not really using it. So
Yeah.
it was like I basically set myself up to be influenced in like the worst way possible in
Functional
school.
type Christians. Well,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but as a Christian going into RS here, I remember that we learned about Islam, we learned about Hinduism, Buddhism. You know, little kids as a Christian, I used to be like, "That's not real." My mom said, "No." I'm not gonna say what my mom said for people blacklist my mom. Yeah, but I'm thinking, okay, cool. I don't know how. I tried to rationalize it, me being a religious guy, not knowing Christ for myself, and then it turned to a point of like, wait, why is man telling me about 9/11, bruv, and Muslims,
Yeah.
bruv? Like, what's going on? Is man trying to, what do they call, brainwash me or something? And then I
Mm.
realized, wait, this isn't religious studies. I'm having a philosophy lesson where my teacher was an ex-Catholic who now doesn't believe in God.
Damn!
And then would put his, God isn't real because of this and that. But now I
That's
know the fact,
the thing for RS.
if
What
you
your
don't know your
view
Bible,
is changes everything.
what's it? Because then he'd say, "Well, God did this and God did that," and because man wasn't really fresh in the Word of God, I was just like,
Mm.
"Well, but basically," and then I had to a point because I was born 25 weeks early. Loads of things happened to me in it,
Yeah.
and I was just doubting myself. I was thinking, and then I called my mum in it. I'm like, "Mum, wait, all of this, and I'm just deep in now. This was lies from the enemy, bro. Because what does it say in the Bible? Due to a lack of knowledge, my people will perish." And I'm just there thinking,
Mhm.
well, God, did you actually do this? And he'd put it onto you such a way, just
Yeah.
like, rah. And because he was a wise man, this guy had like degrees upon degrees, and you're just there with your little GCSE stuff, just like,
Your little GCSEs, and you're just every single thing they're saying is just
is it
penetrating into your
has
head,
to
and
be the truth because I can't find the facts. You know what I
yeah.
mean? So how did that like so was there a conflict with you believing in God and RS? Because you know how they put on you the two types of Christians, functional Christians. God did this and God did that. So how was it for you?
I'd say, well, I did RS GCSE as well, so I think it kind of started then because my teacher was a hardcore atheist,
Oh
and
my.
he actually would irritate me. There would be a lot of debates between me and him in the class because, like, even though I didn't have the full on knowledge that I do now with the Bible, a lot of what he said was just pure ignorance and arrogance. And because many other people in my class were atheists as well, or agnostic, or just like didn't really care for like the idea of God,
Religion. Oh God.
yeah, it was just I think it for me it like began to like influence me and my behaviors, and like even though I really didn't want to believe what he was saying, if that's what I'm around all the time and I'm not going to church, naturally that's going to happen.
Mm.
And then that was basically the same with RS A level, even more so because RS A level, the one that I did, is pure Christianity. So even though so it's split into three, it's split into ethics, philosophy, and just Christianity. So there was we didn't really learn about any other religions, but RS A level is pure debate. Like it is like way different from GCSE,
Mm.
and you have to get a point across. And naturally, being a Christian, if you're trying to argue your point, unless you know the Bible back to front, you're going to lose the argument. You're going to lose a debate, because they could just chuck in like all these philosophical things that make a lot of sense, all of these studies, all of these scientific facts. And it's like I was believing the facts over the truth, which is God. And because I didn't have a relationship with God, I started to believe it. And especially when it came to the philosophy part, and how like the existence of God and all these things that people explain, the Big Bang Theory and
Oh
evolution, it was
my
like,
gosh.
wow, like this all
Charles
makes sense
Darwin.
now. Yeah. And then I basically, I'd say by the middle of the first year of college, I was like, I don't even know if you're real, God. I don't, like, if I'm around this all the time, all these things make more sense to me. Why do you put all these restrictions on me? I just had all of these questions, but the only way I was getting the answer was from my atheist teacher. Do you know what I mean? There was 2 Christian girls in my class who actually, I've connected with both of them now since being Christian. It's like I wish that like I
You're
had
surrounded by
like the
them.
strength, yeah, the strength that you guys did to to withstand the whole of A-level RS
The
and still be a
brainwashing.
Christian. They
Yeah.
were still strong in their faith. I wish I had that, but I didn't. I got tipped over the edge by
Mm.
like the rest of them. So
With your hardcore atheist teacher, would there be a message that you'd like to send to him now, if
um
he's watching?
yeah,
Oh, her.
I mean, I love Claire, if you're watching this, I love you. She was my favorite teacher ever. But I just say, I think when, like, even though she did give everyone like the chance to speak their opinions, it's hard if you're a teacher and you're teaching such an opinionated topic to not give your opinion. So I wouldn't even blame her for it. Like, it's not her fault. It's just like it's everyone's own individual journey, and I just didn't take my own. I just took from her, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I wouldn't say like she did anything wrong. I just say that I wish that I knew myself and knew God more at the time.
Okay, so now you've left. Well, thank you for that anyway. Shout out to Claire as well.
Love you.
She was a part of Elodie's what do you say, transformation, as I'd like to say. So
Yeah.
now you're would you call yourself agnostic then leaving college?
Yeah, well, not really leaving college because obviously COVID happened. I was agnostic probably from the like middle of first year of college, and then
Wow.
up until just before the end of like when lockdown happened, I'd say. Yeah.
Okay, so then your relationship with God is strained. If you'd like to, if I could put it like that, is that fair enough to say? Your relationship with God is strange. You're not really talking to God. There's a lot of God. Why is this happening to me? So what did you then decide to do? Because you come from a Christian background and so forth with your family. What did you end up doing now as your? Were you living your best life, as people like to call it?
I was living my best life. I was in my best life, and there was a lot of debates in the household about my best life, my idea of my best life.
Hmm.
I was living the college dream, basically.
What
Like,
would you put as the college
yeah.
dream?
Boys, alcohol,
Ooh, sorry, mate.
the whole lot. Never did drugs. Never did drugs. But yeah, the getting drunk all the time. My parents might be watching this, but they probably don't know much of it. But getting drunk all the time,
Yeah.
boys all the time, just what, like, any typical thing that a teenage girl does in college was what I did.